Well, I want to thank everybody for viewing our, if you missed it, version of our webinar. We have done we've written a new module for reporting on interface form data. We're very, very excited about the future of it. We've always had four core features, which were essentially the ability to build any form in our form wizard, to route those forms around with our routing, these issues and task management, which allows us to spawn incidents and things like that off of existing forms that we're building, and then the ability to store them in our document folder. And those are kind of the four pillars of our application that we continually build and make better. But we knew there was probably a missing link, and that was the ability to report on the form data. Now, you have lots of built-in reporting in your ERP systems and your content management systems, but we wanted to have easy user action, user interface with form data. And make it very customizable, easy to drill in, easy to access, and break down some of those barriers. So what we're going to talk about today in kind of this recorded small version of what we went over with earlier is our new interface reporting module. So as I jump out of here, I'll launch into the software. So this is what we're very, very excited about, the new interface reporting module. Now, if I were to come in and I'm going to go pick a form that is a job form. And for definition's sake, just so you can kind of see where we're gleaning this information, if I were to go into this TriTech lab job, I could have a daily report here, for example. And here are the questions and answers. So obviously date, project name, weather, all the questions and the different answer types. But also, too, I've got my categories over here. So project information, subcontractor activities, and materials. So these are essentially the categories and the questions that we wanted to be able to make easily reportable. So just like we built this through our 5-step form builder, we're going to be able to build our own views and our own reports on this particular data. We're very, very excited about it. So let's go ahead and jump in and explore that. So we placed the report module underneath the search tab. Now, not everybody has access to this. It's actually a user-by-user role that's given out. So if I come into my reporting module, I'm given the opportunity to either A, pull from an existing search, and I can have predefined searches that I've named, or I can go and build a search on the fly. For just time constraints wise, I'll go ahead and I'll pull one that's actually already built. This is one that's a quality assurance, quality control observation broken down by sub. So what we have the ability to do is I can come down here and I can review when the observation was made, what the observation was. I can view pictures. If I want to drill in a little further and see the observation, this is, Ford's Metals was having a safety meeting. I can click on the picture if I want to and drill in. If I want it to be even bigger, I can do that as well and see that. So if I wanted to download the PDF to email it out, I can also do that. So I have full access, full range of opportunity to distribute and report on it. And this is broken down by sub. Now, if I wanted to build one from scratch, for example, I could actually do it this way. I'll come in and select my particular form that I'm looking for. And let's say I'm going to do one off of a daily report. So I select my daily report. And just like we talked about earlier, the categories and then the questions, this is the same way where we build them here. So we're going to say, okay, in this report, I want the daily report with the date, the job number, the weather conditions, the site conditions, the temperatures. I also want the subcontractors and then what they did through their activities. And maybe I'll leave the materials off for this example. Now, a couple of things happen. One is I'm dynamically building the categories here that I can very easily sort and put into different organization structures. And that'll actually dynamically affect the structure of the report. Now, I can filter by certain job name or by date to get them in proper order. But what's also pretty cool is I can use this little button here to do some advanced filtering. So if I want to see things that are really just for the TriTech job, I can select TRI and filter. And then now this only shows me daily reports that happened on the TriTech fab job. And I can see weather conditions and then any subcontractor activities. Now, I can clear that out as well. And let's just say Northwest Foods. So if it contains Northwest, I'm going to filter. So this is every daily report that was broken down by Northwest Foods. but I wanted this to be broken down maybe by weather conditions, for example. So if I drag and drop over here, I'm going to bust this out a little bit so I can see more information. These are all the weather conditions. So this is by every day it was overcast, every day it was partly cloudy, every day it was sunny and clear, every day it was snow. Now this is kind of a goofy example maybe, but this shows you kind of the dynamic. You can do multiple searches, multiple filtering, and also by drag and drop functionality, you could even filter by weather conditions, that were greater than, equal to, a particular dollar amount or a particular temperature amount. So very, very cool applications, very, very dynamic. And then obviously you can build this on the fly and continually customize. What makes this really, really cool though is that we can always save this search. If I want to come back to it and name it, just like these searches are saved, I can come in here and very easily access and bounce between different reports and views that I like to look at. But where we're headed, and this is kind of a future thing that we're real excited about, is that we're going to be able to, in the short term, take any saved view of information, all my job pictures for a particular job, for a particular date range, all my purchase orders across all my jobs, broken down by cost code or things like that. I can predefine and save those searches and publish to a user's brand new interface dashboard. Now, here's what the new interface dashboard will look like. We haven't decided on a color yet or a function, but this is actually what it looks like. It is very, very flexible and cool. The end user can drag and drop these columns around, but these little blocks are going to be named according to the different saved searches. Now, we're going to hard code a few of them. Obviously, your inbox, your forms routed to you, obviously your task management, and then your unfinished forms will have easy access from the screen, but we're going to let the end user be able to customize what the other tiles end up being. And you can resize the tiles if you want them bigger or smaller or however you want to make them dynamic wise. But this is the future of Interface's dashboard. Now, this is what it's looking like on a desktop offering, but I'll show you here on our mobile app. What this looks like on the iPad or on the Android device. So you still have obviously your drag and drop functionality, but now imagine a field user. They may not know how to build their reports. They might not want to build their reports, but they'll sure look at a very easy to use tile that I just do one click on and then be able to easily access any saved report. So now you can start talking about the sky's the limit when you start talking about, okay, how many different views of my data can I build and who should I assign it to? Somebody comes in and says, hey, look, I want to see my expense reports from day one. I want to see every time all of my expense reports. You can build that as long as it's an interface form where it initiated from. So we're very, very excited about the future of what the dashboard will be, but mainly this reporting function. We're very, very excited about that. Now, a few things to also consider. Once I've got my data set built this way, standard function will allow me to export to Excel. Now, exporting to Excel, based off of how I subdivide and filter out my information, it'll keep those same distinctions. So you see there's Ford Metals and all their observations. Here's Georgia's excavating, and it's broken down and sorted accordingly. It's dynamic so that if I came in here and broke it down and maybe said, okay, I only really want to see Ford Metals, I can now do contains Ford filter, and now only Ford Metals show, and now whenever I export a report, it'll only show me Ford Metals. Now, why is this important? Obviously, Excel is nice because we can report on it. We can do some internal things. But where we're headed is that we're going to be able to offer a company the ability to customize the output report. So that means that if you wanted to, in this example, take safety observations, right, or quality assurance observations, and you wanted to allow the customer to have some predefined searches, but be able to distribute out to a particular subcontractor all their observations across jobs. Now let's paint this work process. we can now, instead of having those really large quality assurance inspection checklists or those really big safety inspections, we can now go through punch list items as transactional based app collections. So now, for example, I could have this quality assurance form that could be as simple as take a picture, what was observed, who's it for, what's the corrective action, submit. And these are now minute by minute, easy transactions that are just submitted. They're off the phone, they're back on. The picture quality goes up because I don't have to make provisions of 100 pictures on a form. And they're all sitting here in a database successfully accessible through this function. So now, if I were to come in, I could have somebody out in the field, or maybe I just got back from the field documenting my walkthrough. Here's all the transactions. And if I want to go and email Ford Metals their QA/QC report across all their jobs, here's all their data sets. I can very quickly filter it just for Ford Metals, and then now I'll have a custom PDF output on your letterhead with legalese and however we want to customize it, and then be able to email it directly out to the subcontractor so that they can have a formalized report as far as what they're going to be expected to correct as far as a corrective action. So those are the types of processes that we're real excited about for the future. This is another core component of our application, this ability to report dynamically on a dynamically driven mobile application. So that's it. If you missed it, hopefully you can review this. If you have other questions, obviously you can visit us on the web. You can send us an email at info@interfaceforms.com. And then also, we're really excited about kind of the future. We'd love to get some feedback, but probably by the end of the year, this will be the new interface dashboard that I'm sure you will lose some productivity of people playing around with that. But we think it's all for the greater good, for sure. So thank you guys very much for watching this recording. And we're excited about Interface. We're excited about the future, and we'd love to earn your business. So thank you.